Good afternoon to the viewers of the live stream. Welcome to another live stream. Really no point of doing an introduction. We're just going to review our information and prepare for a collapse. We have one more rally left or not. Doesn't matter at this point. Doge is basically going to zero. Just made another low. Tether dominance attempting to turn higher. Question here is, are we going to get one more rally? We still could. We're still following the higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So I argue that a bounce now will give us that final rally before the top. Obviously, if we just collapse, so be it. We have fulfilled our purpose. We said relief rally into the summer. We got it. We don't have to go higher. It would be nice if we did. I think it's not yet considered a trap because we didn't actually break resistance, so it never turned bullish in the first place. But that's okay. I'm not an expert. Maybe the top's already in. But either way, we can begin our timer to destruction because next week we will be 300 days into the bear market. No. Is it? Okay, it's not next week. It's the following week. The following Sunday is 300 days into the bear market. All right. If you go back in time and you look at 300 days into the bear market, you got here, and you got here. So I will indeed be preparing for destruction. Welcome to another live stream. We got Emperor Doge, Night of Insomnia, Hail Caesar, Bizzle, Moonwolf, Ron Hart, Rising Sun, Crypto Meowisis, Nate, Reese Monkey. We got 50 viewers already. Wow. I think people are starting to believe the bear cope. I think they're starting to believe the bear cope. My little lammies, I shall guide you. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even say that anymore. Let's take a look. Semiconductors, big pullback. SPY still holding up. Doesn't mean it's time to go down just yet. We still could get that final rally. We're still holding up. However, today is a massive day because with today being red, it opens up the door for QQQ to print a 5-day MACD bar, meaning we can begin to confirm our bearish bias. All right, when you get confirmation of your bias, it's a good sign. Not only that, look at the stock RSI. Stock RSI and the MACD both confirming we're bearish. The last 1, 2, 3, 4. The last 4 times this happened, Bitcoin went through a 20% correction. So I do think we're looking at a 20 to 30% drawdown for Bitcoin over the next 3 months, conservatively. And today's candle confirmed it. We also have a VIX candle. It's not yet green, But we get a new candle next Monday. So we'll be watching on Monday to see if the VIX turns green on the MACD. We can also see the stock RSI is approaching overbought. You can see the lines are already marked on the chart from a totally different chart. But once again, you can see when the 4-day stock RSI rallies up to overbought, Bitcoin has a correction. So we're looking for a Bitcoin correction over the next 3 to 7 weeks. Is the relief rally over? It could be, but there's always a chance that we still go up. I'm not going to tell you guys we have to go up anymore. We fulfilled our destiny of getting the relief rally. We are still holding the uptrend, so we still could get one more rally. But now it looks exactly like it did here, which means you're probably in here. So when this uptrend breaks, that's it. There's always a chance there's another rally, but I'm not going to tell you it has to happen. Let's take a look at the doo-doo coins. Let me get some music going. Even though they're going to copyright me, that's all right. Let me know if it's too loud because I can't hear it. I got a fan on. Oh, I know this song. Dude, I know this song. I used this song as an outro before. Let me see if Hazy copyrights me. I don't think he will because I use his outro. These are our last days together, gentlemen. If we get this right, we're going to be set because we're going to know it's time for a bull market and we're going to know exactly what to do. Over the last 2 months, we looked at everything. I think it's time. It's time. I see people in comments saying everyone's saying the bottom's in October, so it's not coming. There's no more point in discussing or arguing. You got to do what's best for you. There still may be one more push, I think. We did get a red dot on Ethereum on the 23-hour, but I don't know if that's enough. I don't think one red dot is enough. So I'm open to another high. If the high's already in, that's fine too. I'm prepared for both scenarios. Somebody needs to tell me if the music is too loud or not. I can't hear it. I mean, I hear it for me, but I don't hear it for you. If we look at our Moonboy chart has fulfilled its destiny. We didn't quite make it to the red box, but we made it to the red box in time. We just didn't make it in price, which is fine. Would I sell my AMC at break even to buy Dogecoin? I would sell both and buy stocks, not financial advice. Hear no music. This guy says he hears no music, but I hear it playing. Does anybody not hear the music? Now do you hear the music? Now you should hear the music. It's almost as loud as my voice. It's impossible. The guy's trolling. You have to hear the music. Matthew Dropco, we're not going to be rich for a long time, man. We're going down to lower levels. We're going down to lower levels. You have to hear the music. Matthew Dropco, we're not gonna be rich for a long time, man. We're going down to lower levels. Yeah, you can't really hear the music, I guess. That's interesting. That's interesting. Maybe it's because it's quiet? Now you should be able to hear it, right? Is that better? Dustin says it's not going to 70K. I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong, but I would respect a possibility, that's all. I'm open to both possibilities. We fulfilled our duty to get the relief rally. We did. Dot just made another low today, boys. It's getting close. Total 3 ES breaking down. If we get this, it's going to be a generational opportunity, but only if the S&P comes down with us. We need the S&P to come down with us. Let me start making my plan. I think we've prepared. But I shall review because there's a lot to it. I'm going to assume that the VIX is going to spike over the next 3 months. And I want to see the VIX come up between 30 and 40. Now, at this time, you can see that has corresponded to each bear market bottom, or at the very least, a bounce. Now, the reason why I don't think 2018 or 2022 is in play is because the 4-year cycle is about to end. So we can't have another year-long bear market. It almost has to be a flash crash. It has to be. And if we look at when we had flash crashes, we had 2018, 2015, and 2016. It's always a V recovery. So I'm going to assume that if the VIX is between 30 and 40, it's going to be the bottom. Now, if we're lucky, the S&P 500 should come back to the 200-week moving average. I don't know if it's going to. It's not guaranteed. Historically, it always has. Let me know if the music is too loud. Bizzle for 20 says ETH BTC breakout. I appreciate the 20, man. I appreciate the 20. ETH BTC breakout. Not yet. ETH BTC may still be bearish here. I know the Moon Boys are saying alt season. Just be careful here. No breakout on ETH BTC yet. You did break the 236. I think over 31 you get a breakout. That'll help ETH stop falling as much. But contrary to the alt season Moon Boys, you're still stuck in a downtrend. Still bearish. Alright, be careful. This pattern forms It's the same pattern. And then it collapsed. So just be careful. I think if you can get over 31, you could talk about a breakout. But as of now, we got a high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Still stuck in a channel, bearish. A break over 31 would be a breakout, and we'd have to respect that. We're not convinced the top is in yet. I know it's bearish, and I know we're looking for another low, but there is that possibility it breaks out. I'm not 1,000% convinced that the top is in yet. But I love what I'm seeing. I think we're seeing something very similar to what we saw in January, where it's attempting to be bullish, but it's taking forever because it's not actually bullish. So ETH could push up again. I don't think the top is necessarily in yet. Maybe it is, but I still think there could be one more push. So I appreciate the 20 from Mr. Bizzle. Helps out a lot in times of despair, especially with gas prices going where they are. But I have to assume that ETH will make another low. I greatly appreciate that, man. The question here is, can the S&P truly hit the 200-week moving average? It's a 24% drawdown. It is pretty low, I will say. 24% is going to be the steepest correction we've seen. It is going to be the steepest correction we've seen. I'm not 100% sure we're going to get down there. I'll admit, I'm not 100% sure we're going to get down there. Historically, we have. This one was 15%. This one was 20%. This one was an anomaly. This one was 27%. This one was 20%. Actually, this one was 22%. Yeah, maybe 24 is not out of the realm. I guess we're hypothetically looking for SPY to be 575. Now, I want to reiterate, this is not guaranteed. Now, we went over this a couple of... Oh, beautiful. It's already here. Yeah, so the weekly RSI should be between 35 and 30. You had 2025, 2026, 2022, 2020, and 2018. Yeah, I've never been more prepared, I think. If this plays out, I'm ready. I am ready. We already did all the heavy lifting. Now it's about execution. All right, this is what we drew up in June. I drew this on June 8th. This is what we're preparing, guys. This is it. We drew this on June 8th. We got the bounce. We got the bounce. Okay, I'm ready. I'm not 100% sure the S&P is going to go down. We do have a 2-week red dot, though. I have to respect that. Yeah, we do. We have a 2-week red dot. That has to mean... It does mean something. But we still have 7 days. So next week has to also be bearish. So if next week is also bearish, then we're going down 100%. In my opinion. I'm not saying I'm going to be right. But in my opinion, if next week is flat or red, we're going down. The NASDAQ already printed the red dot, sealed. You'll never be able to get rid of that dot. It was last week. But we need it on the S&P as well. The Dow is still green. So technically, if we wait for the Dow, it might be good. Now, everyone's probably saying, oh, look, this guy's looking at a red dot, but the stock market went up every time. Yes, my beautiful friend. Now put Bitcoin on the chart. 30% correction. 30% correction. Technically, the bottom was in for Bitcoin, but we already fell 30%. So it didn't work. What's next? SPY bounces 15 to 20% before Bitcoin begins its true bull market. Right. Let's see. What else do I got written down? I should... 4-day white bars mark... Oh, this is very important. What is this? Yeah, our heat map. You mean Bitstamp. We're looking for 4-day white candles. Maybe 3-day, just to be safe. But we're looking for 4-day white candles. Yeah, you actually had 2 of them here. Alright, so 4-day white candles should get us the bottom. You didn't get it this time. But I think we'll get them this time because the RSI is already down here, so we should get it. Five-day white candles would be even better. Could do 5-day white candles. Oh, what about SPY? Do we get candles on SPY? You do get green candles, looks like. Yeah, that's tough, though. Yeah, I don't know if the S&P is going to pull back. It really should, but it just never does. I mean, it always does. It just doesn't want to go down. I think I like the I think I like the smaller time frames for SPY. This one we had dark blue. This one we had pink and white. This one we had white. This one was white as well. I don't know if we're gonna get a white candle. It's tough. Maybe I'll do the daily time frame. Yeah, the daily time frame's probably better. So we're looking for white. We're looking for maroon and white. We're looking for maroon and white candles on the daily time frame. Not going to be perfect, but we learned that if you strive for perfection, you're going to miss the boat. So if I bought SPY at 2400 and it went down to 2200 and then it never went back there ever again, I don't think I'm going to worry about it. Even here, if I bought here, 3,800, it went down to 35, and it never went back there. But we're not getting one of these. We already discussed. Either we're getting a flash crash, or we're not getting anything at all. Either we're getting a flash crash, or we get nothing. Oh, even March of 2025, we got black, or not black, white and maroon candles. So either we get a correction down here to 6,000, or we get nothing at all. In my opinion, I think Ethereum will be next Bitcoin once it hits 150K. Could be, man. It could be. What's that music? Can you guys hear it, or is it too low? I can't even hear it, and I'm sitting right here. Oh, this is my shit. What was the red line? It was a moving average projection. My question... Yeah, but see, SOXL doesn't care. That's my thing. Because SOXL bottoms with SPY every time. So if I can find the bottom on SPY, I can find the bottom on SOXL. Even if it's within 20%, I don't care. I'm not letting the chat FUD me out because of the AI bubble. Does not matter. If I buy the bottom on SPY, SOXL bottoms with it. Stop FUDding me out. But my thing is, SOXL is already at 140 and we didn't even go down yet. So if SPY falls by 20%, this puppy's gotta come... Oh my god, it might actually come to $40. Alright, now I'm getting excited. Hold on a second. Come on, baby. Is it really possible it comes back to $40? If that's a 0.5, I think the 0.5 is 60. Oh, it is. It's $46. $46 to $30 could be the low for SOXL. And if it gets down there, it should be a V recovery like COVID. Or even 2018. Right? People forget about 2018. That was a monster V recovery. Dude. Guys, look at this shit. If you bought the low in December, you got almost a 200% gain by April. That's a lot of money. If you had 5 grand, you went to 100, or you went to 13 grand. If you had 50 grand, you had 130 grand. And the beautiful thing is, you take that money and then you rotate into Bitcoin. See? Bitcoin went up another bunch of percent. Not financial advice, of course. So we're looking for potentially maybe $46. I would rather listen without music if that's possible. Well, if the chat doesn't want the music, I'll shut the music off. Because I can make it so I can hear the music and you can't. Is it too loud? They told me they couldn't hear it. I'm not sure if it's going to come down to $30 to $40 though. That's the issue here. But it should. That lines up with 90%. That's too low though. Yeah, but 85% is not too shabby. It's too loud. Alright, I lowered it. Is it better now? Let's see what the chat says. We run democracy here on this channel. Or if you send a super chat, it can be bought. Wow, you guys are voting no music? You guys suck, man. Okay, there we go. It's 50-50. Oh, the chat's taking over. They want the music. I'm looking for... It sounds crazy, but I'm looking for $46 on SOXL. It's not that crazy because it was $8 a year ago. So an 84% drawdown isn't that far-fetched. Right? We got to stop looking at it from 2026. We got to look at it from 2025. It was $7. This thing did a 40x, man. That's more than enough for a drawdown. So I'm thinking from here, maybe it goes a little lower, but that's pretty much the bottom. Dude, oh my god, this would be life-changing. This would be life-changing. Even if I sold it at the high, it doesn't matter. That's a 7x. That's what happened in 2019. It basically went a little higher than the high, and then it fell again. Even here, it basically went back to the high, and then it fell. So I'm thinking maybe 40. Maybe $40 to $70. All right, what else? I think we're going to keep it basic, actually. I'm going to use the heat map, the VIX, and the RSI. I have no reason to overcomplicate it. Oh, wait, we said something else, though. I remember it had to do with the green dots. We talked about the green dots, remember? I don't get it. Where is it? Here? Oh, maybe it's here. Okay, here it is. Daily Super Guppy marks capitulation. We still don't have that, though. 6-week red change on WTX marks the bottom is already in. Oh, yeah, here we go. Weekly Cutler RSI at 32 or lower. Maybe shouldn't I already have it on here? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Look at that. Look at them apples. Yeah, she's coming down. Weekly Cutler RSI at 32 or lower. I like that. Guys, if this works, we're gonna be set free. There's no guarantees that the S&P falls though. That's the problem, man. I I think that's good enough. I don't want to overkill. Three-day green dot is present but not reliable. Weekly WTX turning green. Yeah, I like that though. That I'll take. Weekly WTX turning green. Yeah, I already have it marked. What about something a little higher? What about 8 days? 8 8 days. 8 days might be a little better. Yeah, this is a confirmation signal though. But once the 8-day turns green, the bottom is in. All right, I think that's good. I don't want to overkill. Now, if Bitcoin is going to do what it always does, then technically the S&P should go up first. And then we rotate into crypto. Yeah, the chat voted music. Potato Rod says turn off the music. I see a lot of chatter and no super chatters. Johnny117, welcome to BTC Will. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. He says, I piled in the SBIT calls. If Bitcoin hits 47K, 160X, pray for me. 3K to 400K. I checked and that's not mathematically possible. But whatever you're doing, I wish you the best, man. Good luck. Good luck, Johnny. I appreciate the sub. We need a bull market for super chats. That's okay. You can just sit and enjoy the ride. We are very close to our final 8. I think these are our final days here. We want to see Bitcoin bounce very soon because this super guppy is going to lose his green if we don't bounce. Yes, it is. The top bought call 75 for $10. No, I checked today though. I checked before because I was trying to see what you were talking about. And if Bitcoin goes to $40, sorry. If Bitcoin goes to 47,000, that would be $25, 25%, which would push SBIT to 50%. Yeah, I was looking at it this morning. And if you look at the $80 calls, they would probably do like a 5 to 10x at most. Maybe. So I don't know what you're buying, but whatever you're buying, you know, good luck. I hope we go down in August. I'm just not sure we will. This is basically a cult at this point. We're just waiting. It's 100%. Check the move January to February. I guess, let's see. I guess if it technically repeats, it's not impossible. Let me see. So what did you buy? 100? But the thing is, right, the 85 is 55 cents. So you're gambling that it's gonna do the same exact thing. But I don't know where you're getting 100x from. It's gonna be something though. If SBIT actually hits $90 by August, yeah, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But even if it did, let's just say it does. This, you could probably get in for 30 cents. Let's pretend it's gonna go to 80. Let's see. All right, let's pretend it does the same move and it goes to 90. If you got in at $80, that puts it at 10. So it's like a magical gamble, but it would be a 30x. SBIT will go to 120. Dude, you're fucking out of your mind. You think it's going that high, man. You're I guess I never looked at it from that perspective. Like, you're gambling that it's going to repeat the move. And I can't technically say it's wrong because it happened before. So you're basically betting on max. Yeah, I didn't look at it from that perspective. So you're betting on the same exact thing happening twice in a row. So you bought 75. Okay, now let me check. I mean, I don't know if you bought or not. It doesn't say that anybody bought recently. Like, I mean, people bought, but like very little contracts. But it's none of my business. I'm just trying to check the math. If we get a $70, $75, that's going to put it at... Technically, it would be like $45. Yeah, I guess it's not impossible. I guess technically it's not impossible. See, that's why when you were talking, it didn't make any sense. But you're betting on the fucking Armageddon. But I don't think that's going to repeat. But technically, that has nothing to do with it, because whatever happens is unknown. But I guess I see what you're saying now. If you can get in for $3,000... Technically, it's not impossible, because a 120... Yeah, I didn't look at it from that perspective. What if we do get max... Wait, hold on a second. This thing went up by 80% from May to June. And how much did we go down? 27? What did I just say? Wait, what the fuck? This thing... Wait. How did this go up 85%, but we only went down... Yeah, that's interesting. We went down 30%. And this went up 80%. When it should have been 60. Yeah, you know what? I will say that I was wrong. I misinterpreted it. But you also left out the point that... No, I was wrong. You were right. I guess I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, yeah. If we actually go straight down. I guess. Yeah, you know what? You might be right, actually. Even though I don't agree, that's irrelevant if I agree or not. It's just the fact of, can it happen? And technically, I see what you're saying. If we went down to 47K, this would go down by 30%. So that would drive this at least 80 to 90%. And if you look at a $100, yeah, I see what you're saying, actually. You're not wrong. That's fucking risky, though. But is it? Because we know it's going down. Well, we don't know, but... Yeah, I see what you're saying, man. I see what you're saying. I stand corrected. That's risky, but I see it. I was looking at it this morning because I was like, what is this guy looking at that I don't see? But you're assuming it's gonna be 2018 where we go from 60K down to 30K in 2 weeks. I don't know if it's gonna happen in August. But you might be onto something here, because if we go out to November and we look at the same thing, it's more expensive. The return isn't as big, but it's still there. But I didn't know that. I didn't realize that it moved up this high. It did 80%. So if we go straight down, it might actually go up it might go to $100. I don't know if it's gonna work. Oh wait, let me see. I don't know if it's gonna work as well. Yeah, the problem is they don't have an October. It's only September and November. Yeah, I think this might have been what I was looking at too. Like, you don't get the same return if you look at November. We would have to go sideways for longer. Yeah, but if we went to 120, which is an extreme, that puts a 100 at 20, which is still a 20x, maybe. Yeah, I see what you're saying, though, so I stand corrected. You're right. Good luck. I don't know if it's gonna play out, though. That's like extreme bear. I would move it back further, but that's... You're basically gambling on Armageddon in the next 30 days. That's why they're willing to pay out that much. Yeah, but I wonder what it's going to look like. We might have to circle back to this, because what if we go sideways in September or August? Then the November one would come down, you know? Then it might be worth it. Yeah, I see what you're saying, though. I'm going to take that into consideration. It's definitely risky as shit, though, because you have to really time it perfectly. But that's what we're doing, because we know Bitcoin moves in a straight line. It just goes straight down. But my thing is, I don't think it's going to happen in August, which is fine, right? That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But if you look at the same exact setup for November, the return isn't there. So we would have to do nothing and then take the setup. But yeah, I was wrong because I didn't realize that it went up 80%. Unless my chart is wrong. I didn't see that it went up 80%. Right? We went from 37 to 70. Yeah. Good luck, man. Good luck. But I will say it could be worth a look if we just sit here for another month. It's definitely risky, but I don't know. I kind of like it because the math makes sense. Like, if we're looking for capitulation, then by default we're looking for something like this. And if it happened twice in the same bear market, the odds of it happening a third time are greatly increased. So if we can get the exact low, or we don't even need the exact low, you just need the exact point where it goes like this, which should be in September, in my opinion, which is 2 months from now. Yeah, I'm gonna look into this in a couple weeks. Let me see what happens. I like the idea, though. At first, I didn't get it because it didn't make any sense, but that's because I didn't look at it from this perspective. But it's too expensive right now for November. August is dirt cheap, but that's because August is... I don't know if it's gonna happen. Wow, look at the IV percentile, 1%. Yeah, this is good luck. I want to say I hope it happens so you make money, but I also hope it doesn't happen because I hope it happens in September. You know? Like, I'm not rooting for you to fail. I want you to succeed. But I actually think if it doesn't happen in August, but we go down, it increases the likelihood that it's going to happen in September and October, you know? But good luck. I see what you're saying, though. I didn't see it before, but now I do. I see what you're saying. ICP is always, I thought, was decent. ICP, I haven't checked ICP in ages. ICP. Yeah, but don't they have an Ethereum one too? Oh yeah, it's right here. Yeah, but I don't know what's going on with Ethereum. You live 15 minutes from their HQ? Potato Rod in the building. Yeah, how do we feel about one final rally? I think we're going to get it. One last rally for the blow-off. One last rally for the blow-off, and we can all go home. One last rally for the blow off and we can all go home. Yeah, I actually wonder. It's definitely a gamble. But this thing is kind of doing the same thing. Where everybody's FOMOing in. Like everybody's piling in to go short, and that's what marks the top. So if Bitcoin falls by 30%, this could fall or go up by 40%, which is $35. Yeah, it's really risky, but it could pay off. I see. The Frechon, I see the bear market. Am I the only bull in this chat? For today, yeah. Typically when we go down, the bears come out, and when we go up, the bulls are out. Like yesterday, I had to explain why I don't think the top or why I think the bottom's not in, and we went down. Now I have to fight for my life to be bullish. So maybe the bottom is in today. But I think the next move up is the top, because the FOMC meeting is right here. So we should just go right back up, I think. They're about to sell all Bitcoin. Somebody typed in the chat yesterday, I don't know who it was, that one of the Bitcoin companies are like a scam or something. They're selling all their Bitcoin. How are the Bitcoin stocks holding up? Yeah, oh, Coinbase almost came back to the low too. Look at that. Yeah, guys, I think we're going to get it. I do. MSTR came back down. I think we're going to get it. I think there might be one more spike. There's one more. And then I think that's it. And then by the middle of August, we're here. Then we get one last bounce, and then that's it. Right? The RSI might have topped already. How much did it pull back? Oh, it's not even moving. Is that bearish that it's not moving? Oh, yeah, look at that. The 8-hour RSI is doing the same thing it did up at the top. It's just doing nothing. Yeah, is that bearish or what? Shouldn't it be going higher if it's bullish? It just made a lower low almost. Oh no, almost. Yeah, the RSI might have topped. We didn't hit overbought though. Yeah, but now we're hitting oversold. Okay, I see you. Yeah, maybe the bottom is forming here. I'm sticking to my gut. My gut says there's another push. Remember when Patrick was moving the rock? Or not Patrick, but whoever was moving Bikini Bottom and then the giant worm fell on it? I think that's where we are. Push. One more push and then the worm falls straight down. Push. Which memes? Oh, I looked at FWOG today too. Yeah, I looked at the meme coins today. They're all going down. Maneki's about to break down. If you guys remember FWOG made a new low today. Or maybe it was yesterday. Oh, it is today, yeah. Yeah, this is telling us we're bearish, man. This is exactly what I asked for. I know I keep saying that, but I'm shocked. Normally, the market doesn't give you what you ask for. Now, maybe they don't because I'm asking for 68K. But that's okay because we got what we needed. We got what we needed. Now it's about, is it going to give us what we want? What do I want? I want MSTR and Coinbase to stay low. And Bitcoin goes up for one more high. And then it comes right back down. And ETH makes an even high when that happens. Just as Solana did. See how Solana is making lower highs now? So now, if Bitcoin goes back up, Solana's best case is to make an even high. And that's exactly what happened in May and in January. So it's exactly what we asked for. If Bitcoin crashes hard, everybody will panic and run to their grandma. Yeah, but alts aren't going up until another year and a half, man. The best time to buy altcoins is right before Bitcoin runs back to the all-time high. Which, if this plays out, then our Moonboy chart says that shouldn't be until... That shouldn't be until here. So if I were going to buy shitcoins, I would buy them between June and September of 2027. If we go down, we're about to enter the down area. Like, we're freaking really close. So if we... I think starting July 29th, we could go... I'm going to actually move this over. I think starting July 29th, we could go down. The reason why this is such a big deal that we pulled back is because now we can come up here. I hope. But if we come up here, we're actually going to get a red dot. You see how close we were? We almost got it. But we didn't get into the box, so we didn't get it. So the next, we might be right here. The next push is going to be the red dot. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking one more push. I could be wrong, though. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. We went from oversold to overbought. We didn't hit overbought, but we almost did. We got the meat of the move that we're looking for. Now it's, are we going to be greedy? I do kind of feel like being greedy here. I do feel like being greedy here, I will say. I like the structure. Making higher lows. The RSI is oversold. Stock RSI is on the ground. Did Fartcoin hold up or did Fartcoin break down? No! Fartcoin broke down. That's not good. When you say push, what do you mean? I mean push to the upside. I mean push to the upside. I'm hoping for one more push to the upside. We should still be able to get it. Flatsmack says the bottom could be in. Could be, man. You just gotta stick to your plan and not listen to YouTube, because no one on YouTube knows what they're talking about, or they wouldn't be on YouTube. That's how I look at it. If I ever make it, I'm going on Food Channel. Yeah, even Caspa is doing the same shit. Yeah, this is it. This is it. This is it, boys. I wish you all the best. What I can say in my time in crypto, these capitulations get fucking nuts. This one was absolutely nuts. I think this one was nuts because of how fast it was. 2022 was nuts too, but it was broken down into two swings. You had one, and then we went sideways for 30 days, and then you had two. In 2018, we literally went straight down. Like, this whole thing was, I believe... Yeah, this whole thing was 20 days. If we got that, that would be life-changing. But I don't think that's going to happen. What I really think is going to happen is this. I think we could get another push. If we don't, so be it. The chat hasn't turned toxic yet, so we haven't topped, in my opinion. We come back down to the low in August. We bounce in September. And then September, October, we go down to the bottom. I think we get this. So the big move is going to be from 60K down to 40K, which is very small. It's the same size as all the other ones, but it's small compared to Bitcoin capitulations. I don't think that's that far-fetched. And gentlemen and the 5 ladies, I'm here to present to you, we just did the same move a month ago. We fell by 13% from June to June. It took 10 days. It took 10 days to go down here. I think this is the path. And the accumulation starts in October. And we stay down here until February. I think we come down to 38, 40K, get a bounce back to 47, which will be the new long-term hold to realized price, get rejected, and then come back up a second time and go through. That's what I believe has happened every time, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. What do we got going on here? What is this? What is this? Yeah, I think that's where we're at. I think we come down, get rejected from the long-term hold to realized price, and then come back down. I think that's what I'm looking for. It doesn't look like we will pump again. Yeah, but you guys have been telling me that for the last 3 weeks. You guys have been telling me that shenanigans for the last 3 weeks. I do think this is the last one, though. I don't think this is going to hold for much longer. But this is the exact thing we've been doing the whole time. You know, when you get this trend line and it breaks, it's bearish. We need the bulls. We need the bears to capitulate. Yeah, I agree with you. I think with 67K, it hasn't gotten bullish enough to get people questioning if it's bearish or not. I agree. I still think we can get one more spike up. We need people to get excited, and I just don't see it yet. But typically that only happens when we get over the realized price, and we just got rejected below it. So I think once we get above it, that's where people say, oh my god, it's actually bullish. And then we go down. I have to respect, though, in January, that's exactly what happened. We didn't actually get positive, and then we fell. So maybe it doesn't happen. Actually, I don't know if that's true. Yeah, I guess we got rejected below it. Yeah, I don't think that's the top. Could it? It could be. Short-term holder cost basis. Yeah, in 2018, that's where we got rejected. We already said that, though. Rejection, 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 rejection. We got rejected in January as well. I don't know. Maybe it is in. I don't care either way. I do care because I want it to go up, but if it falls, that's fine. But we did get over it in October and May. Bitcoin monthly look back at how big support was. Oh, my chat froze. My chat is gone. 1 second. I think this is it here. I think this is it, guys. I think we're in the final moments before we go down. Because you guys ever notice that how deep we are into the bear market, there haven't really been as many trolls. I feel like I haven't banned people in a long time. They're all gone because they're all dead. You know? I just noticed that. I haven't banned someone in a long time. When we were in the bull market, I was banning people every day. Even back here, I was banning people. There's nobody here. There's nobody left. And I think they don't come back until we're actually bullish. And we're not actually bullish until we get over 68K. So if we never get over 68K, then it was never bullish to begin with. Which means it's not a trap. So in order for it to be a trap, I think it has to get over 68K. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw, but the 4-day stock RSI made another high. So we're max bullish right now, and the fact that we can't move, it's not good. It's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful, man. For the last year, every time we hit overbought, the price does nothing. Bearish. In spring of 2025, when we hit overbought, look at what happened. We went up. When we hit overbought here, we went up. Even here, we hit overbought and we went up significantly from the bottom. We're just not moving. The stock RSI has climbed and the price hasn't moved. That is, dude, this is exactly what I asked for. I can't believe it. I hope it plays out. But I have to respect that there has always been another push to the upside. And because we didn't actually break the trend, I still think there could be. But because of how deep we are into the summer, and August is historically bearish, and the Moonboy event is in August, I have to assume the top is in August, if not the first week of August, last week of July. The last week of July is next week. I think this is it. Yeah, you know what? You can actually connect this back to here, probably. Where's that guy that says Wyckoff Spring? It's right here. Wyckoff Spring. Maybe we push down again and then get the bounce and then go down? I don't know. It's a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Looks like you've been brainwashed by Ben Cohen. I haven't watched a full Ben Cohen video in ages, man. Thanks for playing. It's been a while since I banned somebody. Welcome, Chuck Bailey. Why do people capitulate? Because it's human nature. People make the same mistakes over and over again. Where's Rob G? I don't know. He hasn't been here in a while. He hasn't been here in a long time. How long do you think it will take to go down? I don't think we go down until September. But what do you mean by down? Ben Cohen is not bad. He is just super macro. I don't think Ben Cohen is bad at all. People don't like Ben Cohen because he's bearish, but he has the biggest YouTube channel. That's very rare. The stigma is if you're a big YouTuber, you don't know what you're talking about. And majority of the times, people will say that's true, but they say that's true for everybody. But the fact that a guy that has 1 million subscribers is giving you accurate information, people don't like that. That's why the quote-unquote masses are bearish, because the biggest YouTuber is giving you bearish information. So people don't like Ben Cohen. But at the end of the day, the people that are buying Bitcoin right now, if history repeats, they're going to contribute to the negative Nupal. And when that comes, they're not going to be around. So there's no point of engaging in trolling. At this stage of the market cycle, everybody has made up their mind. So you can only do what's best for you. Once we break 68K, I go back into my bear bunker. And if we never break 68K, then I think I go back into my bear bunker once we break 60K. Yeah, every YouTuber calls every bottom. That's what everybody says, man. I've heard it all. I've heard it all, Trey. I wish you the best, man. If you guys believe the bottom is in, then you gotta do what's best for you. If you don't think the bottom is in, you gotta do what's best for you. Crypto has created a cesspool where people are more obsessed with what other people think than them making or losing money. It's really sick. That's why I always wanted to leave, but I never could. Have I watched a YouTuber kill XBT? Yes, he called the bottom around 70K. I watched. Do I think Bitcoin 68K before August? I think it's not impossible, but you only have a week to do so. I'm not obsessed over a 68K anymore because I was obsessed with the rally into July, and now July is over. Could we get one more push? I still think so, but I'm not gonna say it has to. It should, but if it doesn't, I'm not gonna be like, oh, why is it going down? Technically, we should turn bearish around here somewhere. I think we're still following the Fibonacci pull down from the top at 64 to 15. What do you mean pull down the fib from the top at 64K? This? Yeah, I remember something similar like that last time. But that's only going to help us for resistance. It's not going to help us for support. To find support, you have to go from the low up to the high. And we're sitting right above the 382 retracement. So once we lose this... Yeah, but Bitcoin hasn't been respecting this, so I'm not going to pretend to say that it's going to work. Because we're not really respecting any of these levels. Top was 67K, no more bets. No more bets. It was close enough to the top, I'll tell you that. No more bets. Oh, we're sitting on the 618 retracement. Oh, wait a second. Hold the phone. Hold on a second. Well, I'll say Bitcoin is respecting the what do you call this? Bitcoin is respecting the linear fib. Holy shit. Yo, maybe the bottom is 39,000. Look. We hit the 236, bounce, we went down. We hit the 382, bounce, went down. We didn't respect the 0.5 retracement, though. That's weird. But then we came down to the 618 retracement. So if we fall below 58,000, 39,000 is next. And the thing that's sick, which I'm not going to push this propaganda, but I remember in 2018 and 2022... there was a saying where Bitcoin always hits the 786 retracement. Ours is all the way down here at 39,000, which we already talked about. If you go back to 2022, you bottomed below the 786 retracement. But look, the same thing happened here. You bounced off the 618 retracement, and then you went down to the 786 retracement. You didn't really respect the 0.5. We did... Oh, you did respect the 0.5, kinda. I wouldn't say you respected it, but you bounced off the 382 here. Yeah, I wonder if we're going down to 39K. Anyway, the notion here is every bear market, you come down to the 786 retracement, or below it, actually. We bottomed below it here. We bottomed below it here. We bottomed below it here. Ah, 39K might be next. The question is, how the hell do you get down to 39K by October 20th? You only have 88 days. The only way that's possible is if we come right back down to the low, because then we're going to get another bounce. And then you have 50 days. But that is possible because that's 35% in 50 days. And we've done faster. So it's not impossible. The only thing we need to see to know that we're going down there is to see the price of Bitcoin return to the low. If Bitcoin returns back to the low, you know we're going down there. Which is why moments like now are so pivotal, because people don't know if it's bullish or not. For me, I think to get people, maybe it's bullish, maybe it's bearish, is to get over the cost basis of the short-term holders. But as you can see, we got rejected from it. But we might still get there. I still think there's a shot. I think you got a shot. You got a real shot. At a bottom. Am I not seeing the Wyckoff price action? I'm not seeing the Wyckoff price action, my friend. Oh, you know what would be a big spoon feed by the market? If Tether goes down. I don't think they're going to give it to us, though. But that would be a spoon feed. We are getting a blue super guppy, though. Red alert. We got a blue super guppy on the Tether. Blue super guppy and Tether. Uh-oh. 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 Wait, he's cooking again. We got a blue super guppy and tether. Oh, oh. Uh-oh. What is he cooking up for us? I don't know. We might be getting close. We got gray. We have gray on the 3-day. Same spot. Yeah, same spot again. I don't know. We might be getting ready, boys. Good luck. Good luck to you all. Does this bear market feel worse than the previous ones? This is actually my most successful bear market. Well, it's not over yet, so I can't say. But if we get this right, this will be just as good as the bull market. But no, this bear market has actually been the least... This has actually been the least bad bear market. I think the 2018 one was worse out of all of them. Because we didn't know. And by now, a lot of coins were really shit. Now, if you're talking about including the bull market, then yes, this was 100% the worst one. If you're talking about from here, abso-fucking-lutely, this was the worst one. But if you're looking at just the top, then no. Because a lot of us have been in a bear market since this moment. So it's been the longest ever. Never in history have shitcoins topped out 2 years before the peak. That's ridiculous. So it was definitely the shittiest bull run and bear market. But if you're only looking at the bear market, this was probably the best one because a lot of the altcoins didn't really go anywhere. You know? Like, if you compare all the altcoins to 2018, they all went down 90%. If you compare altcoins now, they're down 90% because they went down from 2020. Oh, Robinhood took a shit. They went down from 2024. If we strictly start from 2025, 2026, a lot of the coins didn't really move that bad. But the bear market's not over yet. So if we go down here, right, if you measure peak to bottom, it was 92%. Peak to bottom was 92%. Right now, we're only down 60%. But if you measure it from the peak, it's almost the same. But this wasn't the peak. This was 2024. That's why people think the bear market is over, because they're brainwashed the same way we were brainwashed. Unfortunately, our brainwashing was right. It was just wrong because we said the top was here. But coins stopped being bullish here and here. So it feels like the bear market started here and here. But that's what we said here, and the bottom was here anyway. So all the jabronis that are saying the bear market started here, where we thought that was where it was going to be, we were wrong. So because we were wrong, the bottom is going to be where it always is. So if you measure from here to here, the bear market hasn't been that bad. if just every measurable metric, if you just look at where we are, we're 300 days into the bear market. By this time, last time, Bitcoin was already down 73%. We're not even going to go down 73%. If you look at 300 days in 2018, Bitcoin had already fallen again by 70%. So this is the least, I don't know the word I'm looking for. I guess the least violent bear market. Same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum from the top fell 67%. Last bear market, it fell by 80%. And the one before that, it fell by 95%. So if there's one more leg down, it still would probably be less than the previous one. So I think the bottom for ETH should be around 1,000. After I cash out, I'll look into stocks. What do I think will be the new all-time high? You mean the top? I think like 180 to 170. I think 180 to 170. We went from 11,000 to 2,000 to 700. If we go to 40, yeah, maybe like 170. Yeah, maybe like 170. That's what I think. Probably 170. And then the bear market is shrinking. So we would get the next bottom at around 60 to, yeah, probably like 60K. This is why Bitcoin sucks. You're going to have, Bitcoin is going to be 60K forever, bro. 2021, 2024, 2022, 2026. Bitcoin's done, man. Local liquid for 5. I appreciate the 5, man. Thank you very much. Tossing you cash for a bag of chips. I appreciate the 5. Thank you very much, kind sir. Yes, I have to buy some chicken. Chicken and gasoline. But I do appreciate the 5 from Mr. Local Liquid. Are you still making videos, man? I remember I used to watch your channel. And then I think you stopped. Yeah, he's back. He's fucking back. The legend.
What's up?
What do you got for us?
So, I'm not telling anybody what to buy. I'm not telling anybody that there's some meme coin season. Okay, I don't know anything about that. I don't know what about crypto blast here, nothing like that. All I'm talking about here is what I think is going to be, is what you should look into. Now, if you look at last cycle's run, right? You look at last cycle's run. It was a lot of mumbo jumbo stuff, right? A lot of things that are going, and a lot of things that were, a lot of junk meme coins, right? I mean, turd coin, right? You could think of anything. You could think of anything, right? And there's probably a coin on it, right? So think about this, all right? a lot of those coins are dead. They're not coming back. Nobody's going to talk about them. Okay, there were one-time pump and dumps. Just you could. There's a massive list that your YouTubers, big YouTubers, were shilling you. They were shilling you a lot of stuff, like throughout this last kind of meme coin season that we had, right? Because there was a lot of stuff going on at Solana, a lot of stuff. Kids are just launching tokens left and right. You don't even remember any of those tokens, half of those. You remember probably the ones that you lost money on, obviously, but you don't remember a lot of those tokens. There's millions and millions and millions of tokens. I believe this next season of maybe a meme coin run, I don't know, okay? I am just saying that I believe that the plays that are still solid are the meme coin characters that were big. You can, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I really don't want to go through all these ones. I think if you know me, you know a few of them, but there's other ones as well that I wasn't in. All right. There's a lot of different stuff that you can buy that might run on the next one, right? I feel like this is going to be a market reset. I feel like you were going into a market reset with these meme coins, and all these meme coins are going to I'm like roasting here. It's like freaking hot. I'm going to put on the air conditioner here and talk here before I start sweating. I feel that you know, Polkadot, those things like that, all those tokens, old meme coins from like Shiba, those, I don't really think that those are plays anymore. I think that those are done. They're not done, but they're not in anymore. And unfortunately, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you not to buy. I'm not going to tell you to sell. I'm not telling you nothing. I'm not interested in those tokens. I'm not interested in any of those. I think it's just, there's no hype on them. Maybe there will be hype. I don't know. Because we're going into a reset. You know that there's coals out there. They want your money and they want you to get back in, right? Wasting your time and trying to get you to buy into other tokens and set up all those pages and his Twitter pages, and then shilling this all out and getting all these YouTubers to get back in there to get you to get into these new tokens is going to be kind of tough. It's not going to be as easy as I think it is as it was in the past. What I think is the play and will always be the play is solid meme coins. The ones with the characters. You know what characters I'm talking about. There's a handful of good characters, okay? And I feel that those are solid plays. Solid crypto characters are going to be a staple play because they don't disappear. They're always there. So think, like, are you going to be thinking in the next bull run when there's more people coming in and you're in it? Are you going to be trying to think of some crappy one-time pump and dump token that had a run to 15 million cap and is down to $100,000 or $50,000? Is that the play you're going to go into? No, nobody's going to be talking about that anymore. That's dead. Like, nobody cares about it. You might get one or two that are going to be some lucky bangers. There's always one of those. But you can always count on the meme characters that were solid characters, right? So I believe that this is the time that you load in to some of these characters, okay? We have been in a pretty good winter. It still can go down more. I'm not saying it's not going to, but I'm just saying eye up your position on some of these characters. I personally don't know if I'm not touching Solana tokens just because I don't know if new investors and people want to go back into Solana crypto casino, because it is very much a pump and dump, very quick stuff. And that's what kind of Solana is ran on and known for. And I feel, and I'm just saying this personally, and I'm not telling you to do anything, so please, this is just my opinion, is I would look into Ethereum meme coins, character meme coins. And I think that those are going to be the play. I could be completely wrong. Maybe Ethereum is dead, which everyone is saying Ethereum is dead. But to me, this is a huge, huge sign of like, okay, maybe let's step back and absorb all of this negative information now on Ethereum, that Ethereum is dead. People are even calling it Ethereum like a meme coin. It's almost like a stable coin type thing, not a meme coin, like a stable coin. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. But and it didn't have its explosive run last bull market. There's things that are going on in the markets that I don't really understand in the background, under the hood, deep into the under the hood, why Ethereum isn't like exploding up to like 10,000. Didn't do that. It's back down to $1,500 or something like that. I don't know, whatever. Think about that though. So like when I go and I look at people talking about Ethereum, a lot of people are just saying Ethereum's dead. Junk.
Oh, I didn't know the video was 13 minutes. Was I really watching it for... Wait, was I really watching this for 8 minutes? We weren't watching for 8 minutes. There's no way.
People are just saying Ethereum's dead. Junk.
Oh, I didn't know the video. There's no way we just watched that for 8 minutes. No, it was... Wow, we actually watched for 7 fucking minutes. I didn't realize it was that long. It felt like 2 minutes. He said, okay, get me off. Okay, get me off. I didn't realize it was that long. But I appreciate the 5. He said, get me off. Why, you don't want... You got 100 people watching. This is why you gotta watch what you say, because now you got an audience. You gotta be prepared. You gotta be prepared for who's watching. That's why I hide my camera. Because now I can come on here with no shirt, no underwear. And you guys will never know. We got John Doe for 57 months. Nothing's happening, everyone. Get back to work. I appreciate the sub. Dude, I can't believe it's been over 2 years, John Doe. It's been forever, man. How's life going? You know, every time I go on my little bridge, I think about the day I heard you for the first time. Are we gonna get back to the top of the mountain? I think so. I appreciate the sub. How's everything going from Mr. John Doe? Nothing's happening. Get back to work. I got you. I just don't like the spotlight. I mean, how could you not like the spotlight? Isn't that the point of making YouTube? Everybody go check out Local Liquid, man. Oh, he's got furniture flipping now? What else do we got? Oh, he's showing... Yeah, you gotta watch what you show on the internet, man. You gotta be careful. but I appreciate the 5. Just hanging in there still. We got a shot. At least we had some fun. No, I don't look at it as some fun. You got to talk to Johnny118. He's going to hook you up with the game plan, all right? Oh, shit. SOXL is breaking down. Yeah, John Doe, you're going to get out of this, man. I promise you. Dude, if our plan works, if you can scrape, listen to me. If you can scrape together 3 to 5K over the next 4 months, dude, you're gonna be able to get SOXL, man. And you're gonna get out of here. You're gonna go right to 30 to 40 grand, and then you take the 40 grand and rotate. There's a shot, man. You can get out of this. There's a shot. You can get out of this, man. At least we had some fun. I don't want to have fun anymore. I want to make some money. I flip vintage furniture a lot. No, I just clicked off your channel because I didn't want to show, like, it looked like you were at a house or something. I didn't want to show the property. SOXL has time decay. My brother in Christ, that's called FUD. I watched it go from $8 to $300 in 1 year. Where's the time decay? I remember in COVID I was gonna buy it too, and I watched it go up again. You guys want to try and FUD me out? It ain't happening. This coin has fucking time decay. Every day that goes by that it exists, it goes down. The best time to buy in is before it comes out. Where's Nanangoyan? He's no longer with us. Oh, Ponk is making a new low too. That's bearish. There was a guy in my chat that loved Ponk. Ponk is going to 0. Pengu's bearish. We're getting ready. We're getting ready. Nubcat. Yeah, Nubcat's getting ready too. Do your research. Yes, I know. There's like a 0.3 decay, man. I know how it works. Trust me, I'm not that stupid. I'm retarded, but I'm not stupid. Not financial advice, of course. All right, gentlemen. I think our time is almost up. Once we break 68K or 60K, I think I go into my bear bunker. Alright, you guys have been prepared for this for the last 3 months. The bottom should be down here somewhere. So once we lose 60K, we can expect that we're going down there. So I should be back tomorrow, but once we lose 60K, or once we get over 68K, I go into my bear bunker for the last time. And I shall reemerge in October. But until then, we shall return tomorrow. I appreciate the support. As always, stay safe. Everything said in the live stream is not financial advice, of course. You gotta do what's best for you. None of this None of this is financial advice. Take care. We'll return tomorrow. And I will see you soon.